welcome back to the Empowerment Minutes podcast, the compass for everything learning, leadership, coaching, and personal growth. I am your host, Dr. Maurine Kwende. I'm a learning leader, assistant professor, speaker, coach, consultant, and I'm passionate about helping leaders achieve their dreams and reach their full potential. So this month, the focus is really on self-love. And so last week we talked about leading with love, the importance of self-love. So this week we're going to actually be focusing on strategies to apply self-love as leaders in our own personal lives, at work, and in life. So now, first of all, before we delve into those strategies, let's first understand what self-care means in the context of leadership. Self-care actually means different things to different people, but self-care really involves intentionally prioritizing activities and practices that really promote our own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So whatever that represents to you, it is actually self-care. And that's something that as leaders we should be intentional about for our own selves and as well as the people that we're leading, right? So leadership starts with us. So our well-being directly impacts our ability to lead effectively. By practicing self-care, we're actually recharging our energy reserves and reducing stress and enhancing our resilience. So definitely self-care, we cannot overemphasize how important it is for leaders. So now let's get into strategies for self-care in the workplace and in life. So the first strategy I want to talk about is that of establishing boundaries. We have to be able to establish boundaries. Identify your limits and communicate them clearly with your team. This may involve setting boundaries around your working hours, email communication, taking uninterrupted breaks. I have seen leaders who answer emails even in bed at midnight. You're hurting yourself, right? You can only give what you have. As a leader, you have to love yourself first, and you have to model it for your team to be able to follow. So be able to set those boundaries depending on your own situation. You might have to do with email, blocking time for work, and when you're not at work, you got to spend time with your family. You got to be able to establish those boundaries, right? So make time also for breaks, right? So you can recharge and rest yourself. Remember that your downtime is also essential for maintaining productivity and creativity. Many times people say, oh, you ask them what are their strengths, they tell you that they're workaholics, they work 24 hours around the clock. Look, that's not being realistic. You need rest time so you can recharge. There's a reason why we work is the normal 9 to 5 a day, because there's expectation for you to rest, engage in other things before you can bounce back the following day, or after taking some rest before you can do some work. So number one, establish boundaries. Number two, practice mindfulness and meditation. That's one thing that I personally am working on this year. I even have a book about mindfulness because I really want to make sure that I'm getting enough self-care so I can be even more productive, right? So be able to find what it looks like for you to cultivate mindfulness and meditation practices. Practice being present in the moment. And so when you're in the moment, fully engaged in your surroundings, right? Mindfulness has so many benefits, especially in the area of reducing stress and enhancing focus and decision making. So be mindful. Many times they would ask someone what you thought about when you were driving or when you're washing dishes. Their minds are running like 100 miles a second. So many other places, but they're not even going to remember, being fully present. So really it's about being fully present. In coaching, as an executive coach myself, mindfulness is one thing that really benefits my clients. Whenever I want to coach people, I have to really, really engage and completely block out any distractions so I can give them my best, so they can use that moment to have clarity and awareness about that situation that they actually have on their agenda for that day. So please really take mindfulness seriously. Look for ways to incorporate meditation in your daily routine to promote relaxation and mental clarity. Even just a few minutes of meditation a day can have really profound benefits for your well-being. All right, so number three, engage in physical activity. Guess what? That's something I've been working on too. I have lost like over about 19 and a half pounds. Really working hard this year just so that, I can be as healthy as possible. You have to be healthy to be able to lead. So engage in physical activity. You don't have to work out like me, who's doing a lot of boot camp, doing a lot of weight training. Figure out what works for you and do that regularly. It might be taking a walk, a brisk walk, a yoga session, or a gym workout. Physical activity not only improves your physical health, but it also boosts your mood and reduce stress. So think about getting some outdoor time, right? As the weather gets better, spending time outdoors in nature can also have therapeutic effects on your well-being. Take breaks to enjoy nature walks or outdoor activities whenever possible. I personally like going out for a walk. It really helps me to be more creative because I start really engaging in all those creativity and those moments where my brain, so suddenly I start having all these great ideas when I go for a walk. So figure out what works best for you and make sure you actually incorporate physical activity in your routine. Number four, prioritizing sleep. Sleep is really important. As a mom for so many years, I would imagine, okay, when am I ever going to get a full night's sleep, right? So if you have situations like that, I do understand, but when you're able to, how are you prioritizing your sleep, right? So what's the quality of your sleep? Create a consistent sleep schedule and prioritize getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Research tells us that once we have enough sleep, it's really beneficial for our cognitive function, mood regulation, and overall health. So, what do you want to do? Maybe create a relaxation bedtime routine. Develop a relaxing bedtime routine to tell your body that it's time to unwind. It may include activities like reading, taking a warm bath, or even practicing relaxation techniques as well. What some people do is that going to bed, they might have a glass of wine. I don't encourage that because it actually messes up with your sleep. Make sure you get as much sleep as possible and you'll feel a lot better in the morning. Number five, what are you feeding your body? I'm talking about nourishing your body with healthy nutrition. You know, um, this is really about feeding or fueling your body with a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, protein that are lean, whole grains. Proper nutrition really helps you with your energy and the nutrients for optimal physical and mental functioning. So, what about water? Water is your key ingredient, right? Stay hydrated throughout the day. Drink loads of water. A gallon of water a day, I think, is enough. Dehydration can actually lead to fatigue and impaired cognitive function. So make it a priority to drink water regularly. My cousin actually one day almost passed out just because she was so busy, not being able to have any water, enough water in her day. So we don't want that. We want to be able to stay hydrated as possible. What are your connections? This leads us to number 6. What are your connections like? Are they meaningful? you know Having meaningful connections are also important for self-care. So do you have supportive relationships? Nurture relationships with your family, your friends, your coworkers, people who uplift and support you. Be in spaces of people that encourage you. Strong social connections really provide a sense of belonging and emotional support during challenging times. So for me personally, I go only where I'm wanted, or people want me to be there. I don't engage myself or find myself in relationships where I'm forcing myself to be there. It's not healthy. You know, make time for those meaningful interactions. Have schedule regular social activities or gatherings, right? It could be in work, outside work, because that also contributes to your well-being. Okay, find out the things that make you happy. What are your hobbies, right? What are the things that bring you joy and fulfillment? Try to really be involved in those things. And lastly, practice gratitude. Cultivating an attitude of gratitude is very important for your own self-care as well and your well-being. So be thankful every day. Sometimes we might focus on, oh, I want this, I want that, and want this, and want that. But being thankful for the things you have is very important, okay? So, as we wrap up today's episode, remember that self care is not selfish. It's really essential for your well being and effectiveness as a leader. You have to love yourself first before you can love other people. So, by incorporating these 7 strategies in your daily life, you nurture a strong foundation of self care that really supports you leading with clarity and compassion and resilience. So, that's it for this week's podcast. Join us next time as we continue our journey of self discovery and self love in this month of self love. So, until then, take care of yourself and lead with intention. Thank you again for tuning in. Let's create a culture of well being and success. Until next time, this is Dr.